To the Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
The Golden State Warriors may have received some concerning news in recent days. Jonathan Kuminga, a key piece of the team's rotation, left the court holding his lower back and went straight to the locker room without saying a word. For those who closely follow the team, this scene raised a major red flag. Are we dealing with something more serious than just temporary pain? The way Kuminga left the court suggests that it could be more than just a mild muscle strain. If it's a back issue, the Warriors need to handle it with caution, as this type of injury can affect not only his availability for the next few games, but also his long-term performance. And it's not just Kuminga who is a concern. Brandin Podziemski, who recently secured a spot in the starting lineup, has been essential to the team's mechanics. While he isn't an elite three-point shooter yet, his impact goes beyond statistics. His presence on the court creates second-chance opportunities for the Warriors, whether through offensive rebounds, defensive pressure, or pure energy. His growth over the past few months has been impressive, and losing a player like him at this moment could be a big blow to the team. Looking ahead, head coach Steve Kerr might choose to rest Podziemski for a few more days, considering that the next opponent, the Portland Trail Blazers, is far from a competitive team at this stage of the season. A return against the Sacramento Kings would make more sense, as they are a stronger team and a game where his presence could be crucial. But one thing is certain, the Warriors need to be at full strength to tackle the final stretch of the season and fight for a playoff spot. This team has already shown that it can overcome adversity, but any prolonged absence could impact the team's chemistry. Now, I want to hear from you, Warriors fans. How concerned are you about Kuminga's injury? Do you think the team can handle more absences at this crucial point in the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want to stay updated on all Warriors news and follow every detail of this final stretch, don't forget to subscribe to the Warriors News Fan Update channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Beyond concerns about Kuminga and Podziemski, the Warriors are at a decisive moment in the season. Every game carries more weight now, and any slip-up could cost them a valuable position in the playoff race. But this isn't the first time this team has faced challenges. If there's one thing that defines the Golden State Warriors' DNA, it's resilience. The recent win against the Detroit Pistons was a clear example of this. It was a physical game, contested point by point, with no major leads for either team. There were 22 lead changes, and until the final minutes, the margin never exceeded 3 points. In the end, Stephen Curry sealed the victory with clutch free throws, securing a crucial win to maintain momentum toward the end of the regular season. But the big question remains, are the Warriors ready to take on tougher opponents in the playoffs? Without Kuminga and possibly without Podziemski for a few games, the rotation becomes even shorter. That means players like Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, and Tracy Jackson-Davis will have to step up even more. Draymond Green, meanwhile, will be even more essential in organizing the defense, ensuring the team maintains its intensity despite missing key players. Another key factor is the impact of Jimmy Butler on the team. Since his arrival, Butler has brought not only experience but also a winning mentality and a competitive spirit that could be the difference-maker in the season's most intense moments. His presence has already started to change the way the Warriors approach more physical games, something crucial for a successful playoff run. Looking ahead, the Warriors will need to be strategic. If the coaching staff decides to rest Podziemski against the Portland Trail Blazers, the expectation is that he will return against the Sacramento Kings, a matchup that could define the team's trajectory in this final stretch. And for you Warriors fans, what are your expectations for this upcoming stretch of games? Can the team keep up its momentum despite key absences? Drop your comments below, and let's discuss. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to the Warriors News Fan Update channel yet, click the subscribe button now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Let's follow every step of the Dubs' journey to the postseason together. Jonathan Kuminga heading straight to the locker room, holding his back without even looking back. Man, when I saw that, my first reaction was a mix of concern and frustration. There's no denying that Kuminga has become a crucial piece for this team, and any physical issue at this stage of the season could be costly. If it's just temporary pain, great. But if it's something more serious, the Warriors will need to find quick solutions because losing a player who has been one of the team's offensive and defensive pillars is not something that can be ignored. And there's more. Brandin Podziemski is also a concern. His development over the past few months has been remarkable, and I'll admit I underestimated his impact at the beginning of the season. This guy does the dirty work, chasing rebounds, pressuring on defense, and finding his offensive rhythm. Without him, the rotation gets even shorter, and the team could struggle to maintain the same level of intensity throughout games. Now, let's be real. The Warriors are far from the deepest team in the NBA. With every game, it becomes clearer that we need everyone healthy to compete at a high level. Yes, the team still has Curry, Draymond, Wiggins, and now Jimmy Butler, but every piece plays a vital role in this machine. If we lose Kuminga for an extended period, someone will have to take on that role of explosive athleticism and versatile defense. Looking at the upcoming games, it makes sense to rest Podziemski against the Trail Blazers, but against the Sacramento Kings? That's the kind of game where he makes all the difference. And man, if the Warriors really want to enter the playoffs with momentum, they can't afford to slip now. My expectation? If Kuminga and Podziemski return quickly, the Warriors could be a very dangerous team in the playoffs. But if these absences pile up, things get complicated. We've seen this team overcome challenges before, but the West is getting stronger. If we want to be real contenders, we need everyone 100% healthy and playing at their best. Now, I want to hear from you, Warriors fans. What do you think about this situation? Will Kuminga and Podziemski be missed in the upcoming games? Does the team have enough depth to handle this challenge? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the Warriors News Fan Update channel yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Let's ride together in this final stretch. Looking at the bigger picture of the season, there's no denying that the Warriors have gone through ups and downs. Since the beginning of the year, they've had to deal with injuries, roster adjustments, and the integration of new pieces. But you know what gives me hope? This team has a winning DNA. When it's time to step up, their mentality shifts. And with Jimmy Butler on the squad, the defensive intensity and competitive mindset have only increased. He's not the kind of player who accepts losing. He fights for every possession, and that energy is something the Warriors desperately needed. In the playoffs, that kind of player makes all the difference. But of course, none of this will matter if we don't have a healthy roster. Curry is playing at an elite level, but he can't carry this team alone. Draymond has been crucial on defense, but he needs Kuminga to share that physical burden. Wiggins has had ups and downs, but lately he's been showing signs of bouncing back. And as I mentioned, Podziemski has become a key piece in the rotation. So what should we expect for the rest of the season? If Kuminga and Podziemski return quickly, I truly believe the Warriors can surprise a lot of people in the playoffs. The West is stacked with talented teams, but never count out a team with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and now Jimmy Butler. Now, if injuries keep piling up, we'll need quick answers. Kerr will have to adjust the rotation and rely more on guys like Moses Moody and Tracy Jackson-Davis to step up. We can't enter the playoffs with a depleted and disconnected roster. So, the big question is, can the Warriors overcome this challenge and enter the playoffs at full strength? Or will these injuries prove costly in this final stretch? Drop your comments and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to keep up with every detail of this Warriors season, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Update and turn on notifications. The road to the playoffs won't be easy, but one thing's for sure. If this team is healthy and locked in, nobody will want to face the Warriors in the postseason.